Hi, I'm Kamaksha Masanuru, open source software evangelist and also a full stack web developer. In my previous video, I've explained how to deal with objects in variety of fashions. Actually, I could have finished this discussion related to functions in the last video itself, but unfortunately, I extended it because of the content length in my last video. So probably this is the last video related to functions. Class. In this video, I'm going to talk about the class. As I have told you several times, JavaScript is actually a functional programming language, which means it follows a particular paradigm called functional programming. So mostly in functional programming languages, a class is also a function. So that is actually the fun in dealing with this type of languages. There are quite a few such script based languages in which actually script based languages are meant for functions, just like Perl, Python kind of, but Python is a bit it has both, but even in Python I don't think creating classes is as straightforward as Java is ultimate when we talk about the object oriented programming. But these scripting languages are a bit different. So, but fortunately, it is so surprising that JavaScript really supports object orientation. So that's actually, so when we define a class in JavaScript, it is just nothing but a function kind of thing. But internally it is a function. But why I do talk, maybe after a couple of minutes you will come to know. So since I'm talking about this, functions, so I'll just try to explain that with the help of a small example. I'm just going to create a class called person, and this person is going to have some certain attributes, their first name, last name, age, something like that, and I'm also going to define a couple of methods to retrieve information. That's all. It's just a very simple class. So how are we going to create the classes? It is very simple. We just have to make use of the base statement class, and then you can just write person. So immediately after the name of the class, we can just start writing. We can start the curly brace. So now whatever we are going to write just after this curly brace is going to be the part of logic. Now, please be cautious. A class is actually, it is like a capsule which holds both data and process. So kind of we call it as data and logic. So both of them binded together. Actually, this kind of principle in object-oriented programming is referred to encapsulation. Okay, so whenever we are going to define some attributes or maybe the properties, and that is actually, we should not define them as var, let, something like that. So you have to be very cautious. The class is not good. Class is a bit different, and we cannot follow the normal conventions of writing the using the statements just as we do it while writing the functions. Now what I do, I will have a parameter, it's a property called full name, okay? And I should not say let var constant or something like that. So this is just going to be an empty, and then we can use semicolon. So when you press enter, it should come down. So if it is not coming down, then now what I do is every class is going to have the constructor. So in every programming language we need to write the constructor. In few programming languages we call it as like in Python, when we are writing it, we refer to the constructor as init, something like that. In Java, the constructor can be, there won't be any constructor in Java, but the methods will going to take care of everything. Main function, we try to make the construction of the So now in JavaScript we have to mention that explicitly constructor, something constructor like this, and then the what are the different arguments that we want to pass to this class. I want to create I want to consider three arguments: f name, first name, last name, age. That's it. It is a simple example. We don't need to, so that we don't need to. Now this f name is equal to f name. So that's it. You don't have to say let var something like that. This f name is f name. I do a lot of spelling mistakes. I have to read a couple of times to l name is equal to l name. See how many mistakes I'm doing. And then this age is equal to age. Okay, that's all. Yeah. And then I'm going to close this. Don't put comma here. So that's where in objects we have to use comma. We separate every element inside the object using comma, but in class you just have to leave. That's all. Now I'm going to create three methods. One method is to create for creating a full name. The other method is to retrieve the information. This information is going to have the full name as well as so get set. Can I say set name? Okay, it's okay, no problem, doesn't matter. Set name, get name, whatever it is. Set name, this is a method. Now return okay, this f name plus, and then I would like to see that there will be some space between first name and this last name. Okay, I think it is better to use this this full name is equal to this, and then return this. Okay, full name. So this is this could be a bit more and then get info. Okay, this is also an empty function. It doesn't require any arguments to pass, and this is just going to this full name plus has. Okay, has this age. That's it. So if you want, you can also use semicolon, but I didn't use them here. Okay. Because they're inside the container, so we will not and that's it. So I don't need that's the logic for this class person. And now we can just go for person is equal to new person, and here we have first name. Okay, what is that? First name comma Kshaya. Okay, and then last name I have Musunuru, and then my age is 45. I can give a number here, doesn't matter. And that is actually the constructor. So what I'm doing is I'm constructing it, that is read by the constructor, and it creates an instance of the type person. Okay, now person, you see you got now whenever I use dot, you see you'll get everything. You want a full name. Shall we see what is there in the full name? It is just oh, that is not being okay. Person set name. This is empty. Now Kamakshi, it returns, right? Now person full name. Now you see we got the full name. So until then we don't get so we get the full name only after executing this, because this is the method which is going to take care of the full name. So that is actually the first time when that property was empty, because this is defined empty. Now after executing this method, the full name is getting created. Now we can go for get person dot get info. This is also an empty function. Kamakshi Musunur has 45 years of old or some whatever it is. So in this way we can, it is very easy to construct define and all classes. This is for this video. We can still talk about so many things like other object-oriented programming concepts like inheritance and polymorphism, many things like abstract, um, the nature of the class, given class, and all everything. There are many things but I can't talk each and everything because this is just going on and on. For the past 4 video casts, I have been talking about writing functions and classes. Maybe I will be able to talk more and more about these functions and classes in JavaScript given a chance in the future. Okay, for time being, I'm just going to close this. Maybe in my forthcoming videos, whenever it is required, then I should be able to talk more and more about these functions and classes. So that's for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content. Subscribe to my video channel. Please press like button.